What's good YouTube, and welcome to the house. I want to have a serious talk with you guys real quick, and it's nothing bad, I promise. I'm going to be hitting the gym a lot harder in the coming weeks. I'm going to be really ramping it up to lose those final 24, 25 pounds that I have to lose, and that's going to take time, effort, cooking, making sure my fridge is prepped, etc. So some days, I'm going to have to jump around on the upload times, and some people have noticed there's no reason to be worried. It's just the priorities are revolving around my live stream days up here, then diet and food and exercise, that kind of stuff here, and then uploads. So uploads are kind of on the back burner as I really pour my energy and pour myself into those things. So the times are gonna get jumping around, everything's going to change a little, and some days I'm just gonna miss it. Don't be worried, I'm good, I'm doing this in a healthy way, I'm making sure to approach it right, and that's how I want to do it. So that's gonna take a lot of energy. That being said, let's get into what you guys came here for. Today's Market Watch, starting with Lady Debug. So she's been up here at this price for a little while. I kept thinking, will it really keep going up? And it does seem pretty stable at the $8 mark, but I'm hoping to save you guys a little bit of money because GameStop has these at $5 if you can find them in your area, and certain areas will have them. So if you can go into your GameStop, you can get basically Lady Debug and a ton of other cards for much cheaper, and maybe anywhere that will price match, although it's not available online. They do have stocks in store, so maybe you can get those price matched at other places as well. Similarly, on eBay, it is $7.50 and quickly goes towards $8. So looking at these for Salad Boys, aka Salomon Greats, you're paying about $24, $25 a playset. Hopefully in trades, people are letting sets go for like $20. But do be aware, if you're the good old Salomon Great players looking for a set of these, that there is a sale that hopefully helps you all. Now, a sale that I promised Zodiac that I would talk about real quick. Next up, Japanese Idol selling their used bath water for $900. I would definitely say this is a poor investment, really terrible investment. It's only going to get worse with time, and you can get that bath water for 1/9 the price from your 7th favorite Yugi tuber. Next up on Market Watch, we've got Magical Formula $2,000. Oh my god. Okay, so Glass Secret Rares are really hard to get, and the lowest English one happens to go to $2,000 also. So foreign language Glass Secrets, Gladiator's Assault Secrets are a lot easier to get overall, but we see the lowest English one here at $2,000 too. So if you have this card in your collection, you were thinking about selling either Unlimited or First Edition, feel free to kind of set the market price on the English versions. That's today's dive into the collector's market. Next up, we have the Wing Dragon of Raw Sphere Mode. So this is something I was actually brought to my attention on stream. People were asking about cards and card prices. Well, the Super's towards $8, and it was actually a little cheaper last night, but we have this shop having 35 copy Supers holding the line. But it's seen back in the format because boards are getting so build my board formatty that this is viable now as a side deck option, and a lot of people are playing it. But the Ultras were at like $12.50, $13 last night, and now today they're towards $15. I was saying that, you know, 13 is too close to 8 for the higher rarity version, and Duelist Pack Battle City actually sealed. I think they're like $175, $200 for the freaking sealed product. Yeah, 180 lowest here with only one seller. So it's really hard to get this product in the first place. It's collectible, has Yugi and Kaiba on the front, and this is the top card out of it. Yeah, it was bound to rise, and it's probably bound to continue to rise. I don't think we'll see that original $30 insane price point before we got the Super Rare, but I could see it being a $20 collectible unless another version of it gets printed. So if you've been holding off on the Ultras, you've been waiting for them to fall out, the fallout moment has passed, and now they're starting to skyrocket back up there. Also, speaking of tributing your opponent's fields, Jizukiru and Radiant are rising mighty fast over on TCG Player, and interestingly enough to me, it's still cheaper on eBay. You see these $4 copies near mint. You see $5 copies over here for our good old Eradicator Virusable Kaiju as well. So these Kaijus are on the rise on TCG Player, but always check both, as I've been reminding you guys. Don't freak out at an initial price, and be sure to shop around if you're looking for specific Kaijus. Now, this is considered by many the best Kaiju for its stats, but do recall that this is a machine, and Cyber Dragons are rogue, but still present in our Top Cut metagame. I personally don't want to be putting a machine on the board, so I would be thinking more around the Thunder Strike Kaiju, the level 9, of that's like King Ghidorah that's also 3300 attack, because I really don't want to be putting machines on boards that could give, you know, the Cyber Dragons any kind of sort of advantage, period, through how they're being played. So I would consider the Thunderstrike Kaiju, although that's also a level 9. Rank 9 decks are kind of gone right now and could resurge with the next, I believe it's Dark Neostorm has all that level 9 support like Idli, so do also kind of be aware of that and the values back and forth of what you could be having to give your opponent if you hard draw it. But for now, in this current format, I would prefer Thunderstrike over Jizukiru, personally, for those reasons. Danko Rekka! I've been summoning this card so much against Altergeist Subterra decks online, and it just can single-handedly tear games down. And, Thunder Dragons have this as a searchable option in their deck if they're playing the Fusion card, which most duelists, I think, are, especially so they don't get Ghost Reapered, and it's almost $5 for every version. So the question kind of is, which version's going to go up first? I think the Secret personally looks the nicest, and Battles of Legend is now a 2-plus-year-old product, but the first set originals are always very hard to ignore too. So I think, again, we see that people are getting this just for its use, but Thunder Dragons are topping so much, it's hard to think that this will stay low. And I call $5 low. With only 23 prices, 6 prices, 14 prices, it's on the bubble of a quantity buyout, and it has been for some time. Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon is up a little. Triff Gaming with the, of course, 5 negates. But I actually talked to Triff about another card we're about to feature. And looking through here, we see the ultimate rares do go up very, very fast on eBay. So I think this is one of those cards that just want replenish on the market easily or at all. And if you're playing Pendulums, wanting to max out that negate you're putting on board, get this sooner than later. It's out of Docks, a very famous set, actually, for not having much quantity on the market. And I would definitely have my copy if you're considering being a Pendulum duelist moving forward at any stage. I feel like there's a structure deck that people are very interested in that's Pendulum based coming out one day soon. But the card in question is Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. I was asking about this. I was like, why would the ultimate be bought out? Do you use it in anything? And he tells me that it is used to rank up into Kali King, but he says there is a better card, which is Odd Eyes Raging Dragon for it. So just taking Triff's advice at face value, there's a super budget option comparatively to rank up into Kali King that he says is slightly better, but I guess people want to foil out, hollow out things and make it all crazy. In my opinion, Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon's an interesting one, and the ultimate rare is up so much, but you can still get, you know, relatively cheap other versions of it, so don't freak out. This is just the highest rarity price, and if you're on a budget and you want to specifically get this card, you have other options. Going through the other cards here, I had a quick note. I want you to stare at this. Stare at Prank Kid's place, stare at the Prank Kid's deck, and realize this is cheaper for its core than Magibolts. This is cheaper for its core than Magibolts. Something is wrong in the world when I just start thinking about it that way. But Prank Kid's relatively budget for what it is. You continue to see lower sellers. Maybe it's the right time to pick it up if you have been waiting from that initial spike. I know a lot of people in the comment section said they were. And this set is actually just a trove of really cheap cards, which is awesome. So even people were really thinking Gold Sark Secret Rare would be a great investment. Of course, that got hit to 1. There goes that investment point. Forbidden and limited lists just don't care about what you think of investment. So if you want your singular copy in Thunder Dragons to be a secret rare, oh man, is it affordable now. Orcust, another suggestion here. We've seen the prices rise a lot around the hype of this deck, and at Deception, defying expectations and using his attack deck to top. I just want to point out, we have very, very, very cheap Link monsters that everyone will be seeking once Dark Neostorm comes. 102 different sellers is nice. 89 different sellers is nice. But get this sooner than later. Add these onto your order for 22 cents instead of $1 to $2. Get it now while it's cheap. People will be out for these in droves eventually. Make sure you're good. Make sure you have it. I always try to bring you guys this advice when I see something. I'm like, yeah, that would be smart to have right now rather than later. And these two cards, Longirsu and the Link to Galatea, I believe, those are cards that you want to have right now. Droll and Lockbird, a lot of people keep bringing this to me, saying it's bought out, and while it's one of the better cards in the format and I see some spikes, it's not really bought out. I've seen it consistently at 1750 over the past couple weeks, but it is getting a lot of people saying this is the best hand trap of the format. Droll and Lock is really good. And people's settings are wrong. They'll show me a screenshot and their settings are wrong on TCG Player. They refreshed or something, and it looks like it's sold out, but it isn't. So do be aware that these are still available, and we'll see really how it comes out into the metagame through the coming weeks. I think it's a great hand trap, and I think it has its metas. The question is, will this be one of those metas? And I feel like this meta is almost shaping up to be like anti-hand trap. Like, hand traps aren't necessarily as big of a part of it as many metas past. And I have one last tab here. Oh yeah! Asian Persuasion 2008. Shoutouts to Johnny. I'm so excited for this. Topped another regional for this, but I want to bring it up as a talking point. Remember how high Cosmos topped, or actually topped the market in general, once Johnny topped with this deck. And for me, thinking about that was during a period where it's Zodiac, it's a hype moment, it beat stuff that were amazingly suppressing the meta. So in a meta game this diverse, this crazy, will Johnny's regional top have an impact this time versus it already being a relatively high and stable price point? It's interesting to look at that the coming days. I think it won't have as big of a ding or a dent, or maybe one at all, as it did last time, but still nonetheless really impressive for Johnny to take second at a regionals. Go check out his profile on his Cosmo deck. Really cool to think about that, you know, Cosmo's out here topping regionals. We're in one of those really diverse meta games. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the discussion, memes, whatever may have it. If you're that guy who suggested I put the joke over in Market Watch about bathwater being sold, that's a bad investment. But thank you so much. Sign up on Patreon too if you enjoy the content and you want to support more. Thank you so much.